I'm Andre Huey and welcome to this edition of the Skn Newsline Newscast. New leader of the St Kitts Nevis Labour Party, Dr. Terence Drew, is speaking on how the party will function with him not being a member of Parliament and the former leader of 32 years, Dr. Denzil Douglas, remaining as opposition leader. More in this report. How will the Labour Party function with its new leader unelected, while the leader of the opposition is Member of Parliament and former leader Dr. Denzil Douglas? That was a question we put to the party's new leader, Dr. Terence Drew.
The party's leader oversees a lot of things of the party, but he also works with an executive and a strategic team, and so that team would be asked to put a plan in place for these things. We'll make sure that we are represented well in the Parliament. We will have the party's agenda, and that will be carried out in Parliament. With respect to me as the party leader, I will have a PR team that will make sure that I'm in the media handling the issues of the day and pushing the party's agenda forward, the agenda that is people-centered. And so I don't think that we'll have significant amount of issue with that. We'll be in the Parliament represented, and we have an experienced leader in the Parliament at this time, the opposition leader, Honorable Dr. Denzil Douglas. Outside of the Parliament, I'll be able to carry a number of political issues. And so people will see that the party can function well in the Parliament, outside of the Parliament, and handle any issue of the day and keep pushing that people-centered program of the St Kitts Nevis Labour Party forward. So I don't see it as a major problem at this time.
He also disclosed that the party will implement a shadow cabinet.
It's something that we would have looked at even before now, and we would have started some work on that. And I would also push as part of the program going forward to make sure that we establish something like that so that we can systematically deal with the issues of the day, St Kitts and Nevis, that are affecting our people. And so, yes, we will pursue that as part of it.
The new Labour leader has said the new order of business is to unite the party and organize its executive to do the party's work as they prepare to make a bid for the government at the next general elections. But Dr. Drew was keen to point out that his focus will also be reaching across the political divide and attracting support from persons outside of the Labour Party.
I will definitely be doing some work in that regard. As a matter of fact, that work would have started already, but it would be intensified. And so the party would, get everything going, and we will be reaching out to people, not just within the party, but those who are outside of the party to bring them in. Because as I said, we are going to broaden the umbrella and to bring people under that umbrella. So there will be a concerted effort to reach out to people, to let them know what the Labour Party is about, in order to, we'll give them our plans, our programs, let them know that they are people-centered and driven by our motto for the good that we can do. And I think that once we would have started a program like that, especially a government that is filled with corruption and nepotistic practices, I think that the people of St. Kitts and Nevis are asking for something better. We will offer something better. They will trust that we will be pushing for something better on their behalf, and we will be able to get a number of them, a large number, to come and join us so that we can get to leadership service in St. Kitts and Nevis back at the helm of the government.
Dr. Drew defeated fellow Labour candidates for the party leadership, Dr. Jeffrey Hanley and Conris Maynard, to become the party's first new leader in 32 years. I'm Andre Huey for Skn Newsline. The World Bank UNDP pandemic study takes the pulse of Latin America and the Caribbean as the region emerges out of the depths of the COVID-19 pandemic. Skn Newsline's Glenn Bart reports.
A study conducted by the World Bank and the United Nations Development Programme, UNDP, on Latin American and Caribbean countries concluded that the quality of available jobs have declined while there is recovery in the employment levels. According to the information released by the World Bank, the study was conducted in 24 countries of the Latin American and Caribbean region. The study was designed to take the pulse of the region and measure the impacts of the pandemic in key areas such as labor market, income and food security, gender equality, and household access to basic services such as education, health, including the COVID-19 vaccine, internet connectivity, and digital finance. World Bank Vice President for Latin America and the Caribbean stated, quote, "These surveys we present today are crucial for obtaining current data on the scope of the crisis and for recommending informed measures to help improve the quality of life in our countries," end quote. As a whole, the World Bank reports that the pandemic particularly affected women, indicating they are twice as likely as men to be unemployed. This situation, the study showed, was compounded by substantial increases in women's household responsibilities and supervising children during remote education. They were also more likely to suffer mental health issues. The World Bank UNDP study reports that access to health improved generally, but pointed out that the level of unvaccinated people remained high in some countries, listing Haiti with 60% unvaccinated, Jamaica with 49%, and St. Lucia and Dominica with 43%. Of note also is the increased use of mobile banking and online transactions. The use of digital payments, the study noted, increased significantly during the pandemic. Glenn Bart reporting for Skn Newsline.
When we come back, the Integrity Commission visits schools as they prepare to observe Anti-Corruption Day. If you're looking for a one-stop shop for all your electronics, you only have two stores to choose from: Island Electronics on 4th Street, Bastyr, and Smart Electronics at Port Zante. At Island Electronics, you have some of the top brands in electronics, from the top-of-the-line smartphones, Samsung and iPhone, laptop computers, smart TVs, washing machines, small appliances, phone accessories, refrigerators, and so much more. Brands include Whirlpool, Samsung, Black & Decker, HP, and much more. Island Electronics is located in the heart of Bastyr. Make it easy for you to access and shop. You can also choose to shop at Smart Electronics. Get the same great deals and quality products, the widest array in smartphones, including the latest Samsung Z Fold, smart TVs, and simply the best in household appliances like stoves, refrigerators, washing machines, even dishwashers. At Smart Electronics, get products for your leisure, headphones, video games, from Nintendo Switch to PlayStation 5, Bluetooth speakers, and much more. It's so hot these days. Well, at Smart Electronics, you can buy fans or air conditioners. And the brands that Smart Electronics carry are simply the best: JL, Beats, Whirlpool, Panasonic, LG, Samsung, HP, Dell, RCA, and many more. You can choose to buy cash or on layaway. So if you're looking for electronic stores with the best deal and quality, Island Electronics and Smart Electronics are your only choices. Choose the store of your convenience. Contact them today. Smart Electronics at 466-4271 or WhatsApp 668-2818, or Island Electronics at 665-8677. Two stores, one great experience. If you need effective advertising at affordable prices, you need to advertise with Skn Newsline. We offer a wide range of services: TV advertising, video ad production, social media marketing and management, WhatsApp marketing, digital marketing, and much more. We offer a comprehensive marketing package to suit your budget. Call our advertising department at 665-7456, 661-2008, or 663-8887. Get your message out on our newscast on the cable channel 95 and or online networks. Weekdays at 7 p.m. Skn Newsline. Marketing made easy. Welcome back. The Integrity Commission visits schools in the country as they prepare to observe Anti-Corruption Day, which will be observed on December 9th. Do the right thing. This was the message shared with students when members of the Integrity Commission visited 3 primary schools on Tuesday, November 16th. Students of grades 5 and 6 at Keon Primary, Dr. William Connor Primary, and the Immaculate Conception Catholic Schools engaged in interactive discussions on integrity and corruption with Chairperson of the Integrity Commission, former Justice Perlata Lance, Commissioner Dennis Freddie Knight, and Carol Boddy, and Chief Executive Officer Albert Edwards. The visits are part of a series of activities organized by the Commission in recognition of the United Nations International Anti-Corruption Day 2021, celebrated annually on December 9th. Celebrated annually on December 9th, Anti-Corruption Day is being officially observed in the Federation for the first time this year. It is being celebrated globally under the theme, Your Right, Your Role, Say No to Corruption, and is aimed at increasing public awareness and involvement in the journey to zero corruption.
The schedule of activities is set to continue on Sunday, December 5th, when Commission members and other stakeholders will attend church. At a press conference slated for December 6th, the Commission is expected to formally launch its essay competition for youth ages 15 through to 18. A panel discussion on corruption and society's role in the prevention will be held on December 8th, and broadcast messages on December 9th will round out the activities. Chairperson Paletta Lance described the school's visit as fruitful and rewarding, and stated that the highlight of each visit was the students' youthful curiosity and enthusiasm. She commented that this was only the start of things to come, as the Commission intends to engage frequently with stakeholders and the general public, especially young children, in the coming months. I'm Andre Huey for Skn Newsline. Prime Minister Dr. Timothy Harris celebrated 28 years of service as a Member of Parliament over the past week. On November 29th, 28 years ago, Dr. Harris was first elected as representative for St. Christopher 7 in the National Assembly. And for 6 consecutive general elections thereafter, Dr. Harris returned as the parliamentary representative for Constituency 7, which stretches from Bellevue to Otley's. He attended a special service at the House of Deliverance New Testament Church of God in Tabernacle on Sunday, giving thanks for his 28 years as a parliamentarian and for the support of the people. Deputy Leader of the People's Labour Party, Akila Baron Nisbet, congratulated the Prime Minister at that service. Throughout his tenure as parliamentarian, Dr. Harris has held several portfolios as Minister of Government, and in 2015 was sworn in as the 3rd Prime Minister of St. Kitts and Nevis. He's also the longest-serving minister in the federal government in the history of St. Kitts and Nevis. I'm Andre Huey for Skn Newsline.
When we come back, Barbados is now a republic.
Online radio has never been this great. It's Voice of the Caribbean Radio at voiceofthecaribbean.net. Tune into Voice of the Caribbean Radio for great Caribbean programs, news, entertainment, sports, and current affairs. Wake up each morning and be inspired with One Day at a Time with Kim Huey. Stay abreast with news across the Caribbean and internationally with the Caribbean News Hour, and be entertained with shows like Reggaeville, Caribbean Classics, and Jive Music Show. Visit our website, download our Android mobile app, or listen us on TuneIn Radio. There is so much more on Voice of the Caribbean Radio, reaching the Caribbean and beyond. Check website or app for program schedule. Are you ready to create high-performing TV commercials?
Ready.
Ready. Ready.
Create and tell compelling stories? Reach your target audience? And build brand awareness? Our strategies and execution will provide for your desired outcome and clearly represent your brand. Visit us at www.madebyopen.com and get started on your creative video commercial today. Lights, camera, Open Interactive.
Auto Plus Car Wash, located on the College Street Gut, Bastyr, St. Kitts. Bring your car to Auto Plus Car Wash to remove water stains, wiper marks. Get your doors, roof panel cleaned, seat floor mats, buffing, headlights, and engine wash. You get quality service at the best price at Auto Plus Car Wash. They really care for your car. Call 765-5140 or visit them on the College Street Gut, Bastyr, St. Kitts. Auto Plus Car Wash, where the service is number one.
Welcome back, and now to regional news. Barbados is now a republic after ending its ties with the British monarchy. Sandra Mason has been sworn in as president, replacing Queen Elizabeth as head of state. Al Jazeera's Lucien Newman was at the festivities in Bridgetown, Barbados.
The declaration of the world's newest republic was marked by celebrations. with the music, song, and dance that Barbados is so well known for. But above all, it was time for solemnity. Prince Charles arrived for the last time as the representative of the Queen, Barbados's head of state, marking the end of the British monarchy's ties with the island once known as Britain's Caribbean crown jewel.
The creation of this republic offers a new beginning, but it also marks a point on a continuum, a milestone on the long road you have not only traveled, but which you have built.
Then the British military flag was lowered, replaced by one that represents only Barbados, which now has a new president, Sandra Mason.
We now turn our vessel's bow towards the new republic. We do this so that we may seize the full substance of our sovereignty.
Barbados was Britain's first and most important slave colony, whose sugar fields produced vast wealth for the empire. It gained independence only 55 years ago, but retained the monarchy. Barbados became one of the Queen's 16 realms, but for many, the time had come to cut the umbilical cord with the monarchy. Duane, a Bajan as Barbadians call themselves, sells tiny salty fruit that grows by the seaside, a specialty here. He agrees with the change.
I feel it would be a positive that one of us is able to run the country, able to make some decisions.
But others, like 19-year-old Kishona, says that the decision to break with the monarchy was imposed on them by the Prime Minister without consultation.
It wasn't even explained. Just one day she said it's republic, and that was it.
The new president will have a largely ceremonial role behind the Prime Minister, and Barbados will remain a part of the British Commonwealth, which Queen Elizabeth heads. This former Quaker plantation has been the residence of the Governor-General, the Queen's representative in Barbados, for the last 55 years. Now it will be the residence of this country's new president, making Barbados the world's youngest republic, at least for now. As a farewell present of sorts, the Prime Minister awarded Prince Charles the country's Medal of Freedom, and then announced another surprise, the nation's Hero Award to the country's most famous citizen, singer Rihanna, who is also an ambassador for Barbados. In practical terms, not that much will change. But for a great many here, no longer having to pay tribute to a monarchy that brought their ancestors here from Africa in chains is a change that was long overdue. Lucia Newman, Al Jazeera, Bridgetown, Barbados.
France's Minister for Overseas Territories is visiting the French Caribbean island of Guadeloupe, where he has insisted that compulsory vaccinations for health workers will happen eventually. Hundreds of them rallied against the government's plans on Sunday, but protests have morphed into a larger movement against high poverty levels. To appease them, Paris now says it is open to discussing more autonomy for Guadeloupe. Al Jazeera's Natasha Butler has more from Guadeloupe.
Hundreds of people rallied against the government's plan on Sunday. But protests have morphed into a larger movement against high poverty levels. To placate people, Paris now says it is open to discussing more autonomy for Guadeloupe. Natasha Butler reports.
Well, the French Minister for Overseas Territories visited a military base. He met security personnel and also police officers. Some of those officers were injured in the unrest that has shaken Guadeloupe over the past 2 weeks. Now, he refused to answer any questions after his visit, but he did give a brief statement. He said that in the next day he would be meeting officials from Guadeloupe, also some representatives of trade unions, to talk about some of the grievances they have on social and economic issues on the island. He'd also talk about COVID restrictions, in particular this very contentious issue of mandatory COVID vaccines for health workers. On that point, said Sébastien Lecornu, France could not be flexible.
Let's be clear, the law of the Republic in terms of mandatory vaccination will apply here in Guadeloupe and in Martinique because they're French territories, and no one would understand if a law that protects health workers and patients was not enforced.
Well, for some people in Guadeloupe, the minister's visit simply comes too late. 2 weeks after the unrest and the protests and the strikes began. They say that this is just another example of the way that Paris regards people in Guadeloupe. For them, they feel very often that they are second-class citizens. In fact, one protester told me that if such a situation had flared up in mainland France, a minister would have been dispatched within hours.
President Joe Biden delivered remarks on the Omicron variant of the COVID-19 and assured Americans that although it is a cause of concern, it is not a cause for panic. The president also continued to encourage vaccinations and booster shots. NBC News reports.
Tonight, with the new COVID variant Omicron spreading around the world, President Biden says he's not considering any widespread U.S. lockdown.
This variant is a cause for concern, not a cause for panic.
The president, after huddling with public health advisors over the weekend, now says the White House is working with vaccine manufacturers to develop vaccines or boosters against Omicron if needed.
The best protection against this new variant or any of the variants out there, but the ones we've been dealing with already, is getting fully vaccinated and getting a booster shot.
Tonight, the CDC is stressing that people 18 and older should get a booster. It comes as the Biden administration's new travel restrictions for 8 South African countries take effect. They bar foreign visitors to the U.S., but not American citizens trying to get home. Other countries such as Israel, Morocco, and Japan are launching even more drastic steps, banning all travelers as a growing list of countries confirm Omicron cases, including Canada. Today, New York City reinstituted its indoor mask advisory, regardless of vaccination status.
We have notification that it has arrived in Ontario, which is literally across the bridge from where I live. I can see Canada from my house.
But with stranded passengers at Johannesburg's airport, South Africa's president says the global travel restrictions are an overreaction. Some doctors there saying the variant's symptoms are mild.
Are our hospitals overwhelmed? No.
But there are mounting questions about Omicron's transmissibility, resistance to vaccines, and severity of symptoms. Here's what we know so far. Based on very limited evidence from South Africa, this new strain appears to be highly contagious. Here's what we don't know: whether the variant is more deadly than previous ones, and whether our existing vaccines work as well against it. All 3 manufacturers in the U.S. are testing them right now.
It's highly likely that there will be loss of vaccine efficacy and effectiveness, but whether we will really have to tweak the current vaccines, we just don't know. We have to wait, I think, for a couple of weeks until we get those key data.
Moderna's chief medical officer says an Omicron-specific vaccine could take months to manufacture.
Should Americans start getting used to the idea that they may need a COVID vaccine or COVID booster perhaps every year, much like the flu shot?
I think so, Gabe. These beta coronaviruses, we see this, they become endemic. They just remain in societies.
Gabe, realistically, how soon can we expect to see a confirmed Omicron case here in the U.S.?
Very quickly, Lester. The White House says the U.S. is sequencing nearly 80,000 samples per week, more than any other country. So it's only a matter of time.
In sports, we have a feature on the MFCR United Old Road Jets in the SKNFA Premier League.
MFCR Old Road Jets have been the revelation of the SKNFA Premier League this season. The team, made up mostly of young players who came through the Virgiles High School football system, have performed above their weight with free-flowing attacking football and imprint of their coach, Alexis Morris.
I tried and tested goals with the Connery team for some brought tremendous success to the Connery camp, and has now moved to the Old Road area and working with the high school down there. A number of the players are coming from the high school setup where he is actually the phys ed and sports. And so he meeting these young, exciting players. You have a player there, Tiquan Williams. You recognize these players, you know, you have the Premier Division teams like Gone Hotspurs, Village Superstars, Newtown team, but the country teams like to come up to prove a point. We are as good as the players from the city.
Coach Morris led Connery FC to their only Premier League title in 2013. And while he was looking to take a break from football, the youngsters in Virchhouse convinced him otherwise. Now the team has a new identity and one of the top goal scorers in the league in Tiquani Williams.
And has been rampant. That's an achievement in itself to be the leading goal scorer at this current point in time. But what we've seen from him thus far this season, sometimes literally willing Allroad on his own in some games. But he plays a big role. He's very dynamic the way he plays. He's very light on his feet. He's quick. Although he doesn't have great size, he still uses his miniature frame to his advantage and gets around bigger players. But he is definitely a footballer for the future for Skn Nevis, and he's a player that we should relish every opportunity we get to see him, because if he can continue on this upward trend, I don't think he will remain a Premier Division player here for very long.
Off the field, Old Road Jets have sparked a surge in community pride, to the point where they've attracted new sponsorship designed to take the club to the next level.
I want to say thank you to all of you guys, because you inspire me every day. When I see you play on that field, the way you handle yourself, I'm proud of you. Knowing that the average age of the team is about 22 years old. I'm very proud. So ladies and gentlemen, can I ask that you give the Old Road Jets a round of applause.
Old Road started off the season hot, and while they fell to 7th place, it's not hard to imagine them making it in their first ever Super 6 playoffs when that time comes around.
Welcome to the Skn Newsline Weather Report. I am Janil Boone. Here is a look at the 4-day forecast for St. Kitts and Nevis. For a more detailed weather report, visit our website at www.sknnewsline.com.
You have been watching the Skn Newsline Newscast. For more news and sports, log on to our website at www.sknnewsline.com. You can like or follow our Facebook page, or you can subscribe to our YouTube channel. Also, download our Android mobile app, search Skn Newsline in the Google Play Store. From all of us here at Skn Newsline and Channel 95, I am Andre Huey. Thank you for watching.